Review the minutes and see if there are any changes or corrections that need to be made. If not, I'll accept the motion for approval of the minutes.
I'll
I
make
make a motion to approve as written.
There's a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
a second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Next, Michelle, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you all?
Doing well, thank you.
Equine Meadows has been divided up into two phases now. A Phase 1, which is the off-site storm drain facility, and then Phase 2. So Phase 1 is in the process of, I'm waiting on the Mylars to arrive so we can get them signed, and they want to start that. In order to start the Phase 1, they have to put in a sediment pond over on the Equine Meadows site. So that'll all be done together, but that'll get started before the housing development. Maverick One Solar told me they expect to be done in August with the installation of the solar panels. So everything has been going fine. When they're done, we'll be re-examining the sewer lines, the street, and the sidewalk for all any damage. They are required to pave Grafton when they're finished, so at least we'll get that. The Lippy property, they did combine all three of their parcels. They had two parcels that were in town, one being recorded as Old Town Development, and then the one that they annexed. So now they've put them all together into one property to try to meet setbacks for a proposed solar field. And so Old Town Development has gone away. It's no longer recorded. There hasn't been any movement on the Holly Hill lots that are for sale up off of Lineborough Road and off of Halley, so we have nothing moving there. For the zoning amendments, what we have done, and the reason that you haven't heard back from me on this is there's some changes going to be made in the code itself as it pertains to chickens and things of that nature, which affect the definitions in zoning. So what I've done in the meantime is gone through the whole zoning chapter, because there was other things that over the years have been impossible to follow. So I've put it all together. I'm going to email it out to you guys just for review and see if there's anything that I have missed, because I'd like to just do it, redact the whole zoning code and put the whole thing in when we do that. And I think that's all I've got for you.
Anything from Patriots Overlook?
Not a word for either one.
Thank you, Michelle. I see Matt's not here this evening. I guess Chris?
Yeah, just a few things. May 28th, we did have a special meeting to swear in our newly elected officials. Myself, Vince Pacelli, and Steve Miller, all elected to the council. Last Tuesday, June 10th, was a rather short council meeting, just normal council business, nothing special. And then our next meeting is Tuesday, July 8th.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Andrew, how are you this evening?
I am well, and you?
Doing well, thank you. What does the county have for us this month?
Just a quick update.
Good catch.
That would not have been a good conversation tomorrow morning. The spring 2025 water and sewer amendments went to the Planning and Zoning Commission today. Those were for Union Bridge, New Windsor, Tawnytown, and Hampstead. For text amendments, the Board of County Commissioners have sent several zoning text amendments to the Planning and Zoning Commission, the Carroll County Planning and Zoning Commission. These topics included updates to the Employment Campus District, adequate public facilities, and solar development requirements. For the master plan, as you know, the county master plan, we're going through the update process. With that, one of the things that have been really going strong the last couple months has been these work groups, the housing, economy, and agriculture work group. I'm one of the facilitators. I facilitate the economy work group. We had a joint meeting last night, or yesterday evening, where all the work groups came together and talked about commonalities and conflicts with their different areas with the county moving forward to include in the master plan. I should say, all these work groups are basically providing information to take to the planning commission, so then the planning commission can use that information for the drafting of the master plan. And then, as you all know, once the planning and zoning commission give the okay on the master plan, then that will go to the Board of County Commissioners for final review and approval. And that is, all annexation requests now will go to Javier Toro in the Bureau of Comprehensive Planning. And that is all I have for today. Thank you.
How far along in the work groups are we? How many more times are they going to meet before they?
Wonderful question. The work groups are scheduled, there's six meetings. One of those is a joint work group. So we've had 3 meetings and the joint work group, so we're scheduled to have 3 more meetings.
Okay.
The next work group meeting for me, the economy work group, will be on July 10th.
Any questions for Andrew?
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the water resources element, specifically the Manchester portion of the water resources element in the county comprehensive plan.
So the water resource element is a state-required component of the comprehensive plan. I just heard the county is updating their comprehensive plan, so they're updating their water resource element portion. And that is what we have to approve today. It's very similar to what we do with the annual plan that they put together. We put our Manchester input. So I had given you all the information that we submitted, that Delbert and myself and Rodney had worked with Brenda Denny for the last year on this portion. So I sent it out to you. We just need to make an approval of it and say that it's okay, so they can go ahead and send it to the county planning and zoning.
Any questions or concerns from the board?
Yes.
Go ahead, Chris.
This extra 61,000 capacity needed, was that a town number that we gave them?
No, it is not. It is a number that they work up with MDE's system. I don't know how you call it. And then instead of using what we actually can and are allocated to use, they used what we were currently capacity pumping. And that is explained in they use a different calculating capacity than we do. As far as our records and what we have for the town, we know that we are good with our water.
So this number will go into the comprehensive plan though, correct?
Yes, it will. But
I don't think we should accept it.
I called.
Because it's not our number.
I called and tried to talk to Brenda and discuss it because I didn't feel that number was adequate because it's one thing if you're showing we don't have the sewer because at full maximum build out, we won't.
We won't.
But the water, we do. And I sent her all of our information on it, but she said she had to use MDE's methodology to compute these numbers. And there were a lot of people that came out negative. Like you could see when you looked in here for the water supply based from, we're 61. Everybody else is 200, 300, 400. So even though it looks bad for us, it's not, we know it's not what it is, but these numbers are all worse because of this way they had to calculate it, which makes no sense to me. You'd think you'd want it calculated proper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't think we should accept it because I don't believe that, even though we probably can make it, having that number out there that's not our number, we're responsible for it, ultimately as a town. So I can't think of for instance, that MDE would try to enforce that, but they could, and we could get fined for it, if they so desired. I went through this in the early 2000s with wastewater. We were given numbers and we couldn't meet it, and we were fined. So I'm really hesitant to allow numbers to go into the comprehensive plan that are not Manchester's numbers.
Even though this is a total build-out number, it's not a current number.
Yeah, it's a build-out
It's a
number.
build-out,
It's
so
a-
we are,
Still,
first of all, we've never built out
I
and put
admit,
ourselves.
I admit, I can't give you a for instance where it would be a problem, but just by policy, I don't think we should allow that to happen.
At least a footnote that, while this number is MDEs, we disagree with it and we have our number, but.
Yeah, I don't know how we get around it. If they're required to use the MDE methodology to calculate for the comprehensive plan, that's the number they're going to come up with. I agree with Bob, though, there should be some way to footnote at that we have actual numbers and we don't agree with that number.
Because once it's in the comprehensive plan, it's ours. We're responsible for it, so.
It's like there's a 10% reserve in there or something in their calculation.
Yeah,
Yeah, for during a drought demand, which I don't know why you would want to pump more.
Yeah, they say
Drought.
10% for drought demand as well as capacity available with the largest well out of service.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know what you do as far as a footnote, but I even showed them, in my calculations, I've even calculated at 350 because of fire or a tower out or something of that nature, and even at 350, we are not out of water.
Is there any way to push back on that number, or we just have to accept whatever?
I really don't know. Do you, Andrew, have any?
yeah, I was going to ask Andrew if there's
Because-
any way we can note our concern with the number not reflecting the actual situation with the town.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Like I said, I did call Brenda, because I'm like, what is this? But,
I do not know of any way with, when we do the updates to the water and sewer master plan, even when the county commissioners vote to approve or adopt that document, it still could be disapproved by Maryland Department of the Environment. So Maryland Department of the Environment, from what I know, holds the final approval over water and sewer planning.
but isn't it correct that our water and sewer master plan does not show that we are short on water? So that was another point I brought up, because we worked those charts in that water and sewer master plan, and we did not have an issue. And I'm not putting you on the spot, because you're not Brenda, but just
No,
curious.
but that's a good question.
Don't kill the messenger, right?
Right. We just need our wonderful planner to explain it.
So on only thing I can mention is on page 93 of the Carroll County Water and Sewer Master Plan, you have, and this is old information, I just have the actual triennial update. Things have changed from our last, in the fall of 2024, when Manchester had the amendments. There's many amendments. But this, the old numbers for table 15, so mentions that Manchester has, for present year, a total demand of 256,000 gallons, a capacity of 581,000. Then in the priority planning, which is 0 to 6 years, there is a total demand of 400,000 gallons with a planned capacity of 606,000. And then for future planning, which is 7 to 10 years, Manchester has a total demand of 401,000 and a planned capacity of 606,000 gallons. And that, once again, that was table 15 on page 93.
On page 93 of the
Yep.
report. So our real numbers are in there, but they're telling us that we're at a deficit as far as build-out capacity.
Yeah, their real numbers are in the water and sewer master plan that MDE has looked at and approved. And this is part of their comp plan that's saying that those numbers that water and sewer master plan have are not the same. So I'll do whatever you want to do. I'll take it back. You guys decide.
Do-
It'd be a completely different discussion if it was on the wastewater side.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're one of the few areas that doesn't have an open body water to draw from, so still, I mean, we have capacity for what we're proposing at a time when the state is prioritizing housing.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, at a time when the state is prioritizing housing. You know, they shouldn't be throwing any roadblocks in the way of any area wanting to do more housing. It's just insane. But I don't get it.
How about a plan? Do we have to approve it? It can't be the mayor and council.
No, I think it's the planning commission has to approve this.
Suppose, I think the mayor and council should. They're the, the buck lies with them. We could say,
Well, we have, if
I
I'm
don't
not
have an
mistaken, this does not have to be back to Brenda till the August meeting, right? So
So we have a month.
we have a month.
We can table the issue if you want to until the July meeting and give Michelle time to reach out to Brenda,
Yeah, and see if there's some kind of.
see if there's some way
footnote or
that we can make a
something.
modification of this. Chris, your points are well taken. And if we're not in a deadline to have to make a decision,
Right.
let's give it a month.
I hate to hold it up, honestly. I'd like to keep the train rolling, but
But if it's not due
if
till
it's not
August.
right, it's not right.
Right, and if it's not due till August, take some time and try to resolve it. See if we can't get it worded in such a way that we're comfortable with what's being shown as far as the figures.
We need to get their raw numbers and their formulas in order to see,
Yeah, how they're coming up with
Why?
these numbers.
yeah,
with
I
their
want
calculations.
raw numbers, and I want their actual formula.
Do you want me to ask Brenda to attend the July meeting and explain this, or do you just want me to get this information from her, send it out to you guys?
Well, I think the first step would be for you to reach out to her and see if there's any way we can amend the document to get what we believe is the correct information into the document.
Okay.
Short of that, then I don't think it would necessarily be a bad idea for her to be here in July.
Not without giving us time to look at their numbers.
No, but agreed. You need to get the raw numbers and the formulas to see how they were calculated so we can compare to what we're doing. So we can ask intelligent questions if we can't get a resolution prior to that.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, so,
Sorry, guys.
no, not at all. I think the points as we looked into it are well taken and are worth a little more effort on our time instead of just rubber stamping something. So, even if there wasn't a concern of any kind of litigious fallout on us, and there probably isn't, but it's still, we should document
Right.
what is correct.
Correct. We should,
Yeah.
if we're putting
I
it
don't-
on paper,
Yeah.
it should be correct.
Okay, very good. Okay, I see we have some attendees in the audience. Do we have any questions for the board or any issues to be brought before the town? Okay. Okay. I guess then I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Good night.